Hello, this is Osa, and I'm going to be sharing this week's thoughts. And for the folks that are just seeing my videos for the first time, my name is Osa. I'm a tech solutionist, and the idea is for this video is to connect with like-minded people and also be able to help somebody with some aspects of their life as they go through the journey of life, and also help myself in hearing these thoughts out loud to be able to help me on my journey as well. Um, Again, the goal is to connect with like-minded people and also to help somebody that's going through the journey of life as I'm going through the journey of life. So I'm going to share this week's thoughts. And I titled this thoughts, It's Okay to Restart. It's okay to restart. In fact, it should feel normal to you to always start again after any fail. And failure in this regard, or in this instance, is you not getting your desired results, which should serve as an indicator, anyways. Indicator to accelerate or decelerate towards your given goals. The Bible talked about this very strongly in Proverbs 24:16, Micah 7:8, and Philippians 3:13 to 14, right? And to restart has been coined as some instance of failure, right? If you start again, that means you failed at what you already started doing in the first place. Meanwhile, failure should serve as some indicator if you should keep going forward, if you should change what you're doing and re-strategize, or if you should reduce your speed. And if we even look at it from a physics stance, same thing, velocity, movement, right? And if we're looking at it from the Bible, failure or even just restarting is an indicator to move on, right? You fall, you rise again, and you keep going, right? It's always an indicator for you not to stop what you're doing, but to take a moment to re-strategize, right? And society have just coined that to be some sort of failure. That means you did not succeed at all, right? But again, failure is just an indicator. It's the twin brother of success. In fact, you have to fail multiple times for you to succeed. The way I see it is a way for me to change what I'm doing. Okay, that didn't work very well, so let's try this other aspect. And when I do it so many times, I'm only left with the desired results because I've tried so many given aspects of it. And the desired result in this case is the success part of it, right? And that's how I see failure. So, but other people have seen it as a way of you did not succeed, shut it down, move on to something else, right? Which necessarily is not the case. I've been thinking about this whole week that it's okay to restart. In fact, it should feel very normal. Like for me, I'm very good at packing up and just starting a new place in a new location, or just getting something brand new just for me to restart and feel the energy of starting all over again. I just feel it's a necessity to life to restart, to always start again and have it feel normal for you to even start again from the top, right? And the vital what I call the vital extract from this is failure is not your identity. It should serve as data, right? You shouldn't feel like because you're restarting, because again, it's not failure to me, it's just you restarting. Because you're restarting, it's become your identity. Oh, you've failed. And this sometimes comes in, and the identity part sometimes comes in from the people we trust, from teachers, professors, parents, friends, relatives. And because as little kids, we're always looking for that validation. Again, the eyes don't see themselves, or even We don't never see past our nose. We're always just looking for that validation from the people that we look up to, that it just becomes part of our identity. It becomes part of our DNA, right? And some people have it in their mind. Even for me, at some point, I had it in my mind that, oh, I restarted this particular aspect of my life. That means I failed. I'll give you an example. When I was in high school, I knew chemistry, but necessarily did not know physics, right? And for a long time, even just math, like I was good at physics in some regards, or good at chemistry, I'm sorry, in some regard, but not even just math or even physics. And in my mind, I've always just coined it that, oh, I'm not good at this particular subjects, right? But again, after having to do some more digging in myself, I just had not very good teachers, right, in those particular subjects. And in recent years, I've been able to sit down and really process math and process physics, and quite okay in those areas, I'd say. And I haven't done, deep studies. Maybe it's physics, yes, but not so much, I would say. But there's so many things that people have just coined in their mind that they failed in, and they're never going to be good at those things because it's been part of their identity. I know somebody that's always just said to themselves, oh, I'm not good at saving. And as soon as they get money, they spend because part of their identity is they're not good at saving money, right? And these are some of the identity that we've coined as kids, and we've just lived on with these types of identity. But again, failure in this instance should serve as data. It should serve to you as a data point if you should keep going forward, or if you should deaccelerate, or if you should change certain things, tweak certain things in your style. Never should serve as a stop, on what you should do. Maybe a stop and reassess what you're doing, but never a full stop that you should move on to something else because that particular thing is not working, right? On my number 2 on my vital extract is restarting should feel normal. Even in the Bible, it was framed as falling and rising, which is part of our journey on this earth, right? You could see in many chapters in the Bible that talked about falling and rising. You fall, you rise again. Even the Bible talked about God's glory being renewed every morning, right? Or His mercy, is renewed every morning, right? That means whatever happened yesterday, it's a new day. We start again. We should be in the habit of starting again. We should push on what we want, on the desires that we want. It shouldn't be a stop. It should be an indication to push on. And for me, I'm learning this for myself as well. Like being able to restart every day, being able to start something, stop, assess, never really seeing it as a failure, but seeing it as a moment for me to assess all the data points that I've gotten from my previous movements. So again, it should feel very normal to restart again, right? On my third, on the vital extract, direction matters as much as speed. In physics, velocity includes direction. Again, as much as we want to go, in this society today, just it's always priding and always just championing those that are on the go all the time. There are people that are doing a million things all at once and calling themselves to be busy. But if you look at some of the Stoic leaders and some of the Stoic ancestors, they're They pride themselves to be very calm and collected, and always just assessing the data points. Wisdom comes from those moments of you assessing, those moments of you restarting because you've had an experience before, right? Just you reassessing, and these are words to myself. I want to hear these words. I want to listen back to this video and be able to hear myself saying some of these things because I need them for my journey. I need them. Direction matters as much as speed, and direction comes from you assessing, knowing exactly what you want. There are people that don't even know what they want. They've never taken the time to really think about what they want or think about what they don't want and maybe reverse engineer what they don't want into like what they want. People haven't had a moment to sit down to think in a long time. And social media takes away that moment for us to be reflective. We're not reflective anymore. People are just looking for quick answers. And that's, being in the technology space, that's some of my fear with AI is the fact that people are just so quick for answers. They don't want to sit down and come up with the answers from their own experience. They want somebody else to tell them the answers, right? And right now, the LLMs are very good at giving you some of the answers that you want to hear. And people just jump into that, right? And take that. Fourth on my vital extract is new beginning is spiritually legitimate. You starting again is very spiritual. It's not an indication of you failed or you are bad at this. It's very spiritual to start again. Clear out the old system, flush out the old, and usher in the new, and be ready for the new to come in. Empty yourself to be filled again, right? It's a new dawn. It's a new beginning. Start again. Start afresh. If you remember, God told Abraham to move away from his old place to start moving it towards the new, where he's going to let him know what the new location or new place was going to be, because he couldn't bless him in his old place. New beginnings, right? New beginnings, starting all over again and just being ready for something new, something uplifting, right? On my fifth one is pressure can produce growth. It means God is preparing you for a new season of life. Most times when it's that time of hard pressure, it just means that there is something that God is a familiar that God is preparing you for. But first, you have to go through these times to come into the new, because when you get to the new, your experiences serves as that data point for you to say, okay, you know what, I'm familiar with this. I've seen this before. I have an experience with this because I went through this tough time in my life, and this is a new beginning, right? And that's a time of growth. Growth is never easy. It's never easy. And even new beginnings are never easy as well. I'm actually talking about this now. I would tie growth and new beginnings together because they are both never easy. It takes a while. Like I'm working out now and I'm learning more about my body and just learning about what types of workouts work for me, right? And it's painful. Like I have pains in different points of my body, but at the same time, I know it's about to be a new beginning for me. It's about to be a new familiarity for me. I'm about to get used to this, to break into the new highs. So it's never easy to start again. But again, it's very important to start again. It should feel very normal to start again. It should feel very okay. You should feel very okay to start again. I want to learn to to restart again often, often, because that's where growth lies, and that's where the new highs lies for me. So I'm hoping that this helps somebody. And if you have any questions or you have any insight, please leave it in the comments so we can all learn from each other, because that's the idea of me sharing my weekly thoughts, is for us to be able to learn from each other and be able to grow together as we figure out this thing, this journey or this thing called life. Just for us to be able to lean on each other. You lean on me, I lean on you, and together we kind of move forward and ascend to greater heights. Thank you again. This is Osa, and have a wonderful week. Bye.